Starting off with the surface analysis chart, we can see low pressure systems in Washington, North and South California, Nevada, Colorado, South Dakota, and the southeast corner of New Mexico. High pressure systems can be noted in Oregon, Arizona, Michigan, New York, and Vermont. There is a cold front through Colorado, Nebraska, and Minnesota, and a stationary front through Arkansas, North Mississippi, Alabama, Georgia, South Carolina, and North Carolina. The orange dashed lines represent troughs. At 2,498 feet, there is high humidity off the west and east coast, through the frontier states, some in Texas, all of Louisiana, around the border of Oklahoma and Arkansas, Tennessee, North Carolina, East Minnesota, North Wisconsin, and West South Dakota. At 18,289 feet, we see high humidity around South California and Nevada, Utah, Arizona, Colorado, New Mexico, through Wyoming, a bit in North Dakota, Minnesota, Wisconsin, Michigan, Indiana, Illinois, the east part of Texas, and the tip of Florida. At 38,662 feet, we can see strong winds going west to east across the northern U.S. and turning towards the south around the East Coast states. The strongest wind will be in the pink. Here we see the amount of albedo being reflected across the U.S. The thunderstorms reflect the most because those are the thickest clouds and thus show up the widest. As we can see from the scale at the bottom, the darker oranges indicate warmer temperatures and the darker blues indicate colder temperatures. Those areas of colder temperatures indicate thunderstorms. What is most important to note on this low-level water vapor chart are the areas with blue, because that is where the thunderstorms could be, especially noting the chunks of blue around the southwest and southeast. General thunderstorm risk across the southern states and up through Kansas, Colorado, Utah, the southern part of Nevada and California, Wyoming, South Montana, South North Dakota, and northwest Iowa, marginal thunderstorm risk in Wyoming and Nebraska, and surrounding the slight risk in North Nebraska, southeast South Dakota, South Minnesota, and Wisconsin. In the red, we can see IFR along the west coast, around the north of Wisconsin, and part of Minnesota, and part of North Carolina. In purple, we can see mountain obscuration in Arizona and New Mexico. In light blue, we can see icing in Colorado, Arizona, and New Mexico. In green, we can see high turbulence in North Dakota, Minnesota, Iowa, Illinois, Indiana, Ohio, Kentucky, and along the East Coast. In orange, we can see wind shear in northern Wisconsin. Reports of turbulence around Lake Michigan, in Utah, in Florida, and around the East Coast. A light icing report in Illinois, and some overcast cloud reports in Arizona, Texas, Louisiana, Florida, and Virginia. Here we can see the freezing levels over the United States. In the north, from Washington to Wisconsin, across Montana, Wyoming, North Dakota, South Dakota, Minnesota, and northern Nebraska, the freezing level is 16,000. The freezing level is also 16,000 around Santa Barbara, California, Las Cruces, New Mexico, the east half of Texas, most of Oklahoma, the west half of Louisiana, Florida, and the northeast, excluding the states northeast of New York, which have a freezing level of 12,000. Looking at Grand Forks Airport, the temperature is 83 degrees Fahrenheit, dew point is 64 degrees, wind is coming from the west at about 10 knots, clouds are scattered, and sea level pressure is 1,013. There is no precipitation in Grand Forks right now. Wind is coming from 270 at 9 knots, visibility at 10 statute miles, clouds, few at 4,000, scattered at 6,000, and scattered at 16,000. Temperature, 28 degrees Celsius. Dew point, 18 degrees Celsius. Altimeter, 29.92. Within the next 24 hours, the ceiling will be 1,000 to 3,000 and/or visibility 3 to 5 miles in Nebraska. The ceiling will be less than 1,000 and/or visibility less than 3 miles along the coast of California. The dashed green lines running across the United States and forming semicircles in California and off the coast of Maine indicate freezing level above mean sea level. All are at 16,000 besides the one off the coast of Maine. The red lines indicate cumulonimbus or thunderstorm clouds. You can see them around Nevada, Utah, Colorado, Arizona, and New Mexico, around South Dakota and Nebraska, around Mississippi, Alabama, Georgia, and South Carolina, and around northern Michigan, near the jet stream going into Canada. The areas of the country in orange have a general risk of thunderstorms. In the black around Iowa and Wisconsin, there is a moderate risk of thunderstorms. The places where thunderstorms have over 90% chance of happening in the next 24 hours are in the dark orange, so it's especially important to watch the weather in those areas, along with areas in light orange, yellow, and green. At Grand Forks Airport, 1 p.m. to 10 p.m. local time, wind from the south at 15 knots, visibility at least 6, ceiling at least 12,000 feet, few clouds at 4,000 feet. 10 p.m. to 3 a.m., July 15th. Wind from the southwest at 8 knots, visibility at least 6, scattered clouds at 8,000 feet, broken clouds at 6,000 feet. 3 a.m. to 5 a.m. Wind from the northwest at 9 knots, visibility at least 6, scattered clouds at 4,000 feet, broken clouds at 6,000 feet. 5 a.m. to 12 p.m. Wind from the northwest at 10 knots, visibility at least 6, few clouds at 10,000 feet, scattered clouds at 12,000 feet. 12 p.m. to 1 p.m. Wind from the northwest at 11 knots, visibility at least 6, few clouds at 25,000 feet. A quick glance at the hazardous weather outlook. Severe thunderstorms are possible west of the line from Cooperstown to Pembina. We can't rule out tornadoes or some marginally strong storms over northwest Minnesota. Any threat should end by 9 p.m. For Wednesday and Thursday, we can't rule out a few severe thunderstorms. Thanks for watching.